Team Tank Davis talks to Shakur Stevenson directly. Kenny Ellis and Shakur Stevenson had a fun back and forth over on For Non-International Boxing. If you didn't go check it out, or you haven't seen it, or you went over there in the live stream, I highly suggest that you go check it out. A lot of gems got dropped. A lot of things were said in that interview. We're going to talk about them today. The main thing is the Gervonta Davis-Vasily Lomachenko fight. Team Tank is talking like that shit done. And then they also, verbally, I would say, tried to get Shakur on the record to lock it in for him and Tank in 2025. Both sides seem like they want to handle their business at the end of the year, and then they looking to make that fight for next year. And as a boxing fan, you couldn't be happier. You know what I mean? You couldn't be more ecstatic. It's one of the best fights in boxing, but it was also some weird little back and forth about some sparring session shit that I want to get into. But smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. Catch me live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. I'm also live every Sunday morning with KC Boxing Network. Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I ask that you join the channel as a member. Drop super chats and super thanks when you come by the live streams and the videos. And hit me up if you want to debate. Knockoutboxing86 at yahoo.com. And I'm going to do an open panel tonight. I ain't really had time yesterday, so the panel be open tonight. And I'm sure we'll cover this topic and a lot of what we talked about last night as well. But let's get to it, bro. So, Gervonta Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson. Kenny Ellis, Shakur Stevenson. First, let's talk about Tank and Loma real quick. I've been reporting to y'all for over a month now that fight is done, right? Based on what Bob Arum is saying publicly, based on what Team Gervonta Tank Davis is saying publicly, based on the movement of all the moving pieces around them, that fight is looking done. All we waiting on is the announcement. It's only July. The fight ain't till November. Big fights like this, you can expect them to get announced probably 3 months, 2.5 to 3 months before the fight, specifically if they're going to do a cross-country press tour, which I do think this fight deserves. So, go to New York, go to LA, and then do your media rounds, get a fight a few months to build. So I expect and I anticipate the fight to be officially announced sometime in August. And then also what promoters like to do, specifically Premier Boxing Champions, waiting on a rival card to try to steal some shine off of the card. When they had Tank and Frank Martin, they announced that fight the week of the Devin Haney-Ryan Garcia fight. Steal some press, steal some buzz and shit, and just kind of stick it to a rival promoter a little bit. So with no big cards on the horizon, the only really big one is a Madrimov and Crawford card. I should say Crawford Madrimov card. Obviously Crawford is the man in that equation. And right now the number one pound for pound fighter and the man in boxing in general. Inside the ring or whatever. Y'all know how I feel about him outside the ring. But one thing I'll never be is a hater. That's not a place that you would expect the fight to get announced during that week, because PBC got a lot of fighters that they promote on that card or that they in business with indirectly on that card. So you don't anticipate an announcement then. But look for one of these top rank events, one of these golden boy dates for PBC to announce that Tank and Loma fight together. And if it's during the ESPN fight week, it won't be more of a rival because that's a joint promotional contract. But PBC and Top Rank will probably come together and announce that during a fight week that's already pretty big, or some, especially if it's a big fight week for another rival promoter, they'll announce that shit together to steal some shine. So just kind of be on the lookout for that. The August 17th fight card between Caleb Plant and he's fighting McCombie, I believe, and I think Cool Boy is on that card. You could probably expect Tank and Loma to maybe be announced during that week of August 17th to build some buzz around PBC. Reporters are going to already be at a PBC event. You can have Tank come to the fight, shit like that. So we'll see how it plays out. But Kenny Ellis in that back and forth let Shakur know, like Shakur was like, yo, bump Loma out the way, what's up? Kenny was like, nah, we're going to get this money. And he was trying to tell Shakur Stevenson it was a bigger fight. And of course, Shakur Stevenson is going to disagree that Loma is a bigger fight than him. But you could tell Kenny Ellis, he been checking, and a lot of people, man, they've been checking out the content, bro. Cause I try to tell people this shit, and people act like it's non-existent, and you can't hear Kenny Ellis talking about demographics or fan bases until I've been bringing that shit up to people, making people aware of that. And it's the same thing. I don't know for sure if Tank and Loma is bigger than Tank and Shakur, because if Tank and Loma happen first, that makes Tank an even bigger name. If Shakur beats Williams and Petty, that makes him an even bigger name. And Tank and Shakur could very well be bigger than Tank and Loma. But all things being equal, you can make the argument that Tank and Loma is a bigger fight from a money perspective, because he got a whole country of the Ukraine backing him, and how the Ukrainians have all come together to support their fighters recently, like Alexander Usyk and Berinchik. They've been riding, and they always ride for Loma. So we'll see. And Loma's been on pay-per-view, did 150,000 with Devin the Dream Haney. Him and Devin had a good live gate over there in Las Vegas. So there's some arguments there, but either way, they all great fights, right? You get Tank and Shakur first, then you get the winner fighting Loma. You get Tank and Loma first, then you get the winner fighting Shakur. Any combination of them three, bro, we signed up for that shit on this channel. But Kenny Ellis continues to talk as if that fight is done. Bob Arum continues to talk as if he's very confident that that fight is done. He's not publicly admitting it in the media. Loma's flying over to America to look over contracts and give his final thoughts. Bob Arum's going to Aegis Clemence's restaurant. All reports are saying that negotiations have resumed. They're already announcing target dates and shit. Shit seemed done, right? So that continues to be confirmed, and all signs are pointing to us getting one of the best fights in the lightweight division in recent years. Some other things in that shit that was really like interesting to me to hear them go back and forth about was Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis in 2025. That's all. That's what I have been telling y'all. I've been reporting, number one, that Tank Davis turned over a new leaf and that he was in shape. And I told y'all this shit years ago. I think I told y'all after the jail shit that something clicked in him. When he got that time and he realized what was going on, something clicked in him. And you can see for his last 3, maybe 4 fights, Buddy been in shape, Buddy in the gym. He on a whole different mindset. I've been told y'all should have caught that boy when he wasn't focused, right? And I also been telling y'all, he ain't got Floyd holding him back no more. It was Floyd holding him back. He is going after all of these guys, and he is preparing to try to go on one of the greatest runs that you have seen in recent memory, and then dip the fuck out. He's legit gonna be going big fight after big fight after big fight after big fight. So after Loma, don't expect the tune up. They're going straight for Shakur. After Shakur, if he beats Shakur, depending upon who got that belt, it could be Keyshawn Davis. If Keyshawn Davis got it, that's a big enough fight. If it's somebody like Raymond Maratala or somebody like Berinchik, probably won't go for undisputed at 135, move right up to 140 and go after the big names at 140. That's what I'm being told. So can't wait to see the journey, man, between all these fighters. But Shakur and Tank 2025, the spring of 2025, I would imagine that Tank Davis, if he fights in November, with him being a practicing Muslim, he's probably gonna want to try to get a fight in with somebody like Shakur in the spring, like March or something, before Ramadan. Or it's going to end up having to be after Ramadan, which is going to push it back to early summer, like May, June type shit. But we'll see how that shit go. To me, what perked my ears up the most when I'm listening to Shakur Stevenson and Kenny Ellis go back and forth is this shit about sparring and shit. If you remember, it's funny with Tank, right? It's always some sparring shit. Shakur jumps off the porch, he look, bro, it was good work. You know what I mean? It was good work. And Tank, it was like a chess match. He was giving Tank props at first, but then they fell out or whatever. And Tank was asked about sparring on the Rise podcast. I never forget it. Blue Blood Sports TV was on there. He was asking Tank about sparring Shakur and Devin, and how Shakur and Devin claim they got the best out of Tank in sparring. And Tank, that competitiveness came out. He don't like when people say he got hurt in sparring or anybody got the best of him in any kind of way. I mean, he'll fight. What do you expect? And he said, man, did they tell you I cracked both of them? I cracked both of them. And Shakur said, he ain't never cracked me. So they going back and forth. You got Shakur's story, you got Tank's story. If Shakur tell you, then he gonna say he got the better of it. Tank tell you he got the better of it. But now Kenny Ellis has shined some light on it. He said, hey, bro, do you remember why you didn't Why you didn't come back for another sparring session? Do you remember what happened? You remember what you said? And Shakur like, nah, I don't remember. What you talking about? Kenny Ellis made the claim to Shakur Stevenson in his face that you said the Tank fucked your tooth up. You said Tank cracked your tooth up and you couldn't spar the next day because you had to go get your tooth fixed. Now Shakur like, hell nah, that's cap. He swerving down his cap. He put it on his daughters and shit. But it ain't do nothing but make me want to see the fight more. That's all it did. Then they had another story they talked about in sparring where Shakur was basically like a fan. Because Tank like 17, he like 13 at the time or whatever. And for those y'all don't know, Tank been wrecking shit. Go look at this amateur pedigree. So a lot of the amateur boxers looked up to Tank. He was one of the ones. And Shakur was excited to get in the ring with him. And Kenny Ellis was fucking with him like how he put his hands up like, yeah, or some crazy shit like that. And Shakur laughing it off, you know what I mean? Talking about, nah, bro, I was excited to get in the ring, not happy. Kenny made it seem like he was happy, like looking up as a fan. And Shakur was like, nah, I was just excited to test myself. But at the end of the day, bro, if you don't want to see Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson, something wrong with you. And the prospects of getting that fight, the build-up of that fight, the respect that, like, it's odd to me to watch how Tank and Shakur talk crazy on Twitter, right? But when, I can't speak for Tank, but when Tank's team is talking to Shakur, they show respect. And when Shakur is talking to Tank's team, he shows respect. The only one that ain't showing no respect is Gervonta Tank Davis right now. But Kenny Ellis swears that that shit ain't going 12. And Shakur says, all right, whatever. I'm a better boxer than him. I'm going to beat him. And all I can say as a fight fan is set that shit up. But I really, y'all know me, this 2024, that old sparring, stay in the gym. If somebody got the tape, release that shit. Release that shit. I swear to God, everybody be fucking Tank up in sparring. Then you see the video and the shit don't even look like what they said it looked like. Is this another situation of that? Or did Shakur outbox him and shit? I won't see it, bro. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Kenny Ellis, Shakur Stevenson, back and forth over on Phenomenal International Boxing. Y'all go check that shit out, man. That shit was fire, bro. We're getting along a lot of gyms. We're getting the Loma fight. We got a new sparring story on Tank and Shakur. And Kenny Ellis tells Shakur to line it up for 2025. What's up? Let's get it cracking. Can't wait to see that shit. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below, smash like, see y'all soon. Peace.